Hello, this is Andrei Sannikov and Belarus File. On July 10th, there was an important event organized by European parliamentarians in Brussels and through the Zoom conference in Belarus and other places. The main organizer was former Prime Minister of Lithuania and now member of European Parliament, Andrius Kubilius. And I offer you my intervention during this conference and Day of Solidarity with Belarus, as it was called, Time for Change.
Andrei, floor is yours.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay, because I cannot hear you. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank the Prime Minister Kubilius personally and organizers of this event, because it's very important for us. Also, I would like to thank all those who spoke in our support and solidarity with Belarus yesterday and today. I was thinking today that in the European Parliament, in the Council of European Union, in the European Commission, there are politicians and officials whom I have privileged to know for many years, whom I honored to know for many years, who are very well aware of the situation in Belarus, who have no illusions about the regime of Lukashenko. And somehow, after every reset, the memory files of European Union are being erased. And that's what exactly what happened in February of 2016, when European Union lifted sanctions against about 170 officials, about 170 criminals from Belarusian regime, because they were criminals and it was proven by the European Union. It couldn't be proven in Belarus, and we were grateful that the European Union interfered at that time. And when these people are pardoned, you know what happened? Very strange things are happening. That political activists, people who are legally and peacefully express their views, are being punished, are kept in prison. And those who are torturing them, who are beating them, they're being pardoned. They can travel. They can travel to Europe, like the former Interior Minister Kuleshov, or the former Interior Minister Shunevich, or the former KGB chief Zaitsev. And Statkevich and Severinets are still in prison, as they were at that time. So when European Union lifts sanctions, it means that repression becomes invisible outside Belarus. They're being ignored. They're very visible and very much felt by the families, by the political prisoners themselves, by their families, by their relatives, by their children, by their friends, but not visible outside Belarus. And it's only when Lukashenko starts beating us again, then we're noticed. You know, it's we always send the message to our friends in Europe that every softening of position on dictatorship leads to more repression inside Belarus, leads to more brutality inside Belarus. And you know, as somebody who was in prison and was saved by international sanctions, I can tell you one thing: sanctions do work. Sanctions are needed. It's not a strategy. Sanctions are not needed to map out the strategy of relationship. It is different. It is an instrument, and very effective instrument, to save people's lives and to save people's health. Because don't believe that people are being kept in prison in Belarus for political reasons. They're being tortured in prisons in Belarus. They're being slowly killed in prisons in Belarus. And that's what has to be remembered, because today, what is happening today in Belarus is, you probably know, that those thugs are depriving people of food, of decent food, of sleep. They're being kept in very dirty cells without any decent sanitary conditions. They're being poisoned with chlorine. They're being deprived even of water. And as we learned from Olga Nikolaevich, who was just released, you know, they don't discriminate even these measures against women. So they add humiliation to brutality when it concerns women. So I think there is no justice in Belarus and there is no judiciary system, as you know, and the only justice could come from international community and namely from European Union. I have a very simple suggestion. First of all, these regimes do understand only the language of sanctions. They don't care about any other language. I have very simple and specific suggestion how to introduce sanctions without formally introducing sanctions. And I took the example of the form of US visa. And I can read you that there is a question in the US visa form that sounds like this. Have you ever committed, ordered, incited, assisted, or otherwise participated in torture? The same concerns political killings. The same concerns religious freedoms. The same provision could be introduced into the Schengen visa form concerning falsification of election. And then you have the very principled and very simple rules how to exclude these people from traveling to the free world when they are putting political prisoners in jail in Belarus. I listened very attentively yesterday to the plenary meeting. I completely agree with Prime Minister Kubilus, who named these 3 points or 3 directions: the solidarity with the citizens of Belarus, strong message to the nomenclature in Belarus, and Europe, mobilization of Europe in support of Belarus. You know, everybody in Belarus knows these words, "Живе Belarus, long live Belarus." It's sacred words for us. I want to hear "Живе Europe." I want to hear "Long live Europe." I want to hear these words in Belarus. I want to hear "Long live Europe" in Belarus. So please do what you can to really provide for your own security as well. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Andrei. Thanks a lot. Really very important words.